Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Storytale Staging Live inside the Home Staging TV YouTube channel. I'm excited to be here. I'm your host, Tori Toth, and today I have with me a very special guest. His name is Lee Goldstein. He established himself in real estate in 2005, working within established real estate companies. Lee soon realized he wanted to provide more results for his clients, though. And so he started his own company, InTrust Realty, in 2012. Lee was an early adopter to adding home staging into his business, as it's a way to differentiate himself from other agents, right? That's one of the key things here. And he actually trains his agents about the power of well-staged properties. He's also a home staging advocate, which I love, and he was named RESA, the Real Estate Staging Association's 2019 Real Estate Agent of the Year. So, welcome, Lee.
Hello, Tori. How are you today?
Good. I'm super excited that you're here. I like that we are going to get a real estate perspective on home staging. And so you're a broker.
I'm excited to be here.
I know. So you're a broker at InTrust Realty, and that's in the North Carolina Raleigh area, correct?
Yep, that's right.
And so how many agents do you currently have kind of under your belt?
There's 8 agents in my firm, and I'm an active real estate sales agent too. I sell between 50 and 60 homes a year, so we keep pretty busy here.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot of work, a lot of transactions going through your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
So so I guess tell us a little bit about what should we expect coming up in the spring market for 2021. Things have been kind of hot at the moment. Are they planning to stay that way?
Boy, it certainly seems like it. I can tell you that the demand for people to buy homes right now is just incredible. Usually January and February are pretty slow months. This year, our January was the best January ever since I've been in business. So it's been very, very good. It looks like the market's going to continue as long as the interest rates stay low. I don't see anything that'll change the demand that's certainly out there now.
I mean, why do you think the demand is so high right now? Like we're under the pandemic, the market, I mean, the economy isn't its best. People can't really keep mortgages or pay for their mortgages. They don't have jobs.
I think it's just the interest rate. So people that can afford to are either moving up or getting in for the first time. It's just a great time to buy with interest rates being so low, and they'll have those rates for 30 years. They're sub 3% mortgage rates. It's just absolutely incredible.
Is that supposed to like kind of go through the summer, or will it be shifting at some point, or it's still kind of
Well, yeah, obviously there's a new administration, so we don't know what they're going to do, but it certainly seems like that if they change the interest rates, then that part of the market will lag a little bit, and I don't think anyone wants that to happen. So it seems to me that for the next 3 to 6 months, we'll probably be fine, and even probably for a year. And I think even if the rates went up just a little bit, it might just settle people down a little bit and make the market more normal. But I think for the next 12 months, we're going to be in for pretty much the same as we've seen in the past 12 months.
That's amazing, and it's kind of scary too, kind of at the same time, right? 'Cause you're like, ooh, could the bubble burst? Is it going to stay? Like you don't know kind of which way to go, and that's why we look towards experts like you. So the market's hot right now, and there are a lot of agents, resisting the working with a home stager. So what do you have to say to them? Is there anything that you can say to help?
Yeah, I mean, the really beauty of working with a home stager, and we do consults in every single home that we list. And we do that because we want to make the house look the absolute best it can. And my listings typically do shine on the market much better than some. And it certainly does help. And it also, as an agent, I don't have to talk to my clients about the things they need to fix or repair in their home. which is really something I don't really want to talk to them about. So the stager takes that whole issue and talks to them about that. And I use Bobby McGrath. She's a great stager here in our area, and it's just amazing how she can get clients to do things that when I just mention some of those things, they talk about they're not going to do it. But as soon as Bobby gets in there, they do everything she asks. So it's just great to have Bobby working alongside me on all my listings.
So you're really only there's a NAR report, National Association of Realtors, 2019 profile of a home seller or home buyer. I forget which one it is, but there was a report out there saying that only 28% of real estate agents actually stage all their listings. So you happen to be in that bracket.
Yeah,
I love that.
absolutely. And I think the people that don't stage are certainly missing out on something. I've had some of my own agents tell me, my clients really don't want to do that. Well, it's in your client's best interest whether you do that or not. So the best thing for you to do is to have somebody come in and make the home just look really, really pretty. So it's important to sell a home. The easiest way to get it sold is to make the marketing photos as pretty as we can. And the prettier those marketing photos are, the more people that'll come in the front door. The more people that come in the front door, the higher price we can get for the home, and certainly the faster we can sell it.
It's also an agent's fiduciary duty, if I'm not mistaken, right? To at least offer that. Do you want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's your job to make sure that you do everything you can to help that person in selling their home. And you would think about it, making the house look the best, and have somebody walk in the door and say, "Oh my God, I love this house. I have to have it." You would think that's something that you should offer to all your clients, even if you're not a proponent of it now. You should be.
Yeah, definitely. So, as a home seller, I mean, would you obviously you want your home sellers to be well informed, but would you if their agent wasn't actually asking them about offering them staging, what would you say to the seller in terms of trying to get more information about it from that agent, or look
Um,
for a different agent?
You know, Tori, it's part of my listing presentation. In fact, the first half of my listing presentation is all about making your house as marketable as possible and what we do to do that. And what we do is we stage it to do that. We show before and after pictures of homes that weren't staged and then what they look like once they were staged. We talk about all of the success stories that we have with some of those. So I think it's just really important that agents do tell their clients about it. And if they don't have a stager that they work with, they should find one in their market and start working with them, because Bobby's a big asset to me just for questions that I might have or anything I want to know about the market and what's new. And I don't really want to have some of those conversations that Bobby has with my clients. So it just makes it much, much easier for us.
And if you're looking for, I mean, if anyone out there, you guys are looking for a home stager, I have a pretty big network of stagers that I can help refer you to. So just leave a comment below, or you can reach out to me at tori@toritoth.com. Lee, would you say that
Awesome.
your pictures, so your staged pictures, are an extension of your brand? And so does that actually help you get more referrals?
Absolutely. When I do listing presentations, I give them a list of homes to go out on the internet and take a look at, and they can see what my homes look like. And they can see that they're definitely better than most of the homes that are being put on the market. And so I think it's really important to have some kind of marketing to help sell those homes. And certainly the better those marketing photos are, the better chance you're going to have of getting somebody to walk in and say, "I have to have this home." And that's what you're really looking for.
Can you share like a success story that you've had with staging, or your first time maybe ever working with a stager?
Sure. I have a colleague of mine that had a friend that had a townhome that was sitting on the market for over 18 months and he couldn't sell it. And being 18 months, that means there was three contracts that that agent had to sign with that client had to sign with that same agent. after they haven't sold it for 6 months, they signed 2 more agreements. And every time the agreement came up, my friend was trying to get his friend to use me to help him sell the house. Well, it took 18 months. Finally, they hired us. Bobby and I went in there. We gave them a list of things that needed to be done. While they were doing those things, he mentioned to his friend that he thought it was an awful lot of work that he was doing to get his house ready to sell. And I was kind of surprised because I didn't think it was that much, but it certainly was more than what he was doing. We put that home on the market. There were 5 other homes for sale. If you drove into the parking lot, there were 5 other townhomes just in that circle that were available for sale. We sold it for him in 9 days. And this client had a home already picked out that he wanted to buy in the neighborhood just next door to where he was living. And he was able to go buy that home because we sold it for him in 9 days. That was just incredible.
That's great when you're able to. Well, I mean, staging is so important because the buyers need to see what the potential of the home can look like. They need to feel like the lifestyle or see the lifestyle that they could lead inside of that property. Besides home staging, what are other things that home sellers should look for in a real estate agent when working with one?
Well, they certainly need to understand if he knows the market and understands the market, how long he's been in business. Does he sell homes or does he just work with buyers? It's important to know what they're doing. The marketing photos, a good photographer is really important. So you need to make sure you have a good photographer that does that. And the marketing that you do online. These days, we advertise all of our homes on Facebook and Facebook groups. We also do Google ads and we do Facebook ads for the listings. Today, the marketing is all online versus being in newsprint or paper like it used to be. So marketing is very important, but you want to market something that looks really good. So that's very important.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, anything that I put out there in the world, I would love it to have, my stamp on it and look branded and professional and all made up and nice.
Absolutely.
I know. What as home stagers, there's many home stagers who watch the channel as well, and so they're faced with this difficulty of not necessarily getting a lot of no's when it comes to home staging, working with an agent right now because the market's so hot and the houses are turning so fast. So what should the conversation be? How should they approach a real estate agent in a time like this?
So if I was a stager and I was talking to a realtor, I would just tell them, I think some of the things that we've already touched on. When you have great marketing photos, it's really an extension of your brand. So people know that when your house is going to get listed, that boy, it's really going to look nice out there. And you'll be amazed how some of my clients are just amazed at the process, right? Of we come in and we do the listing presentation. During that presentation, we're talking about what we should be doing to get the home ready and how important staging is to get the home ready. And then once we get it ready for staging, then we bring in a photographer who's really, really good. We take the pictures and then we market the home. So if I was a stager, I would say I can help your clients get a wow factor when those buyers come in that door. And it's something that we really can't do ourselves. And even if you had some background in staging, it's really important to have a professional. They do it every day. They're far better than I could ever do it. I've worked with Bobby for 5 or 6 years now. And certainly there's no way, actually it's probably been longer than that, but there's no way I can do what Bobby does. I just don't have the time to understand that whole process. And she'll tweak just a few little things and it just makes a huge difference when we take a picture. So those marketing photos are the most important thing that you have when you're selling a home. So it's really important to put your best foot forward every time.
Yeah, I hear that all the time that I forgot what I was going to say. It's Friday afternoon, happy hour time, right? Anyway, so with the home stagers, do you suggest that they have what marketing material do you suggest that they have in order to insert into your listing presentation, like to make that conversation easier for you?
Um, so what content should they have in their listing presentation about staging?
So, like, what type of materials should they give agents, or what would you like to see, or what would you like to have to kind of make that conversation with your client easier?
So, not so much marketing tools, but your actual listing presentation. If staging's not a part of it, then you're missing the boat there. Bobby sat down with me and went over my listing presentation with me.
Mhm.
And we talked about what I talk about when I'm in there. And she helped me create a listing presentation that is just superior to some of the other people out there. So I would recommend that what they should do is talk to the client, talk to the agent, ask the agent if they can sit down and look over their listing presentation and see if there's some stuff that you can do to help them with their listing presentation. Because obviously, anytime you help somebody else, they'll want to help you. So if you can help that agent have a better listing presentation that includes staging as part of their system, I think that would really be a big difference. And I would certainly always try to do it in person, right? I mean, even though handing out marketing materials are good, I would make an appointment with that agent. I would sit down with them, tell them I'd love to go over your listing presentation and see if there's anything in there that you could help. So that would be my biggest takeaway. And
I,
Bobby's already done it with me.
I love that. That's a great idea to really sit down and figure out what that conversation should be and tailor it together.
Exactly.
Any final thoughts on this topic of the spring market, what we should expect, how to use home staging?
Yeah, I just think it's so important, and I'm really surprised about the people that don't do it. And when I have people in my own firm that say, maybe my client doesn't really want to do all that, and they don't have to do all that, but I can tell you, it turns into money. The better that house looks, the more money we're going to get for the house. Some of the homes that people walk into, and when they're showing homes, and even the agents out there can attest to this, they walk into a home, it's perfectly staged, it's very clean, it looks just incredible. And the buyer's perception is that the seller has taken great care of that home over the years, and probably there's going to be very little issues or problems with this home. And that perception is probably not 100% true. We really don't know how well they took care of it, but we got it ready for the market.
Yeah.
But the perception of that buyer is that, wow, these people have really taken great care of their home over the years. So it's a pretty important thing, to plant that seed in the buyer's mind, to help them want to buy this house.
And I have another question for you, Lee, too, since we're
Sure.
here. Um, what do you say to somebody who's just looking to to list their home as a FISBO versus working with an agent?
Yeah, so the biggest problem with FISBOs is they don't have any control over the people that come in and out. And, the biggest job of the real estate agent is to get that transaction to the closing table.
Mhm.
I know a builder that I worked with one time told me he didn't understand why builders have trouble with agents. He says, I want an agent on every one of my house because there's two agents now working on to make sure that all the pieces of the puzzle get put in place and this property closes on time. So the really important piece is to get that agent to make sure that they're going to get that home sold. And part of getting that home sold is obviously doing the right things to market the home.
Yeah, and I would say looking to recruit a professional to help you with all of that. As a person who just spent over a year trying to sell a house, yes, I think if it wasn't for my agents, it probably never would have sold. So shout out to her, Beth Lowe. Anyway,
Yeah.
Lee, thank you so much for joining me this Friday afternoon and sharing your knowledge with us. For anybody who has a question in regards to real estate or asking a real estate agent about their home staging company, please feel free to put them in the comments below, and myself and Lee will be able to check them for you. And
Absolutely.
yeah, again, thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Alrighty. Have a great day.